Can I ask you something honestly?
What now?
When was the last time you wanted me first?
That's not fair.
It's funny in relationships when a man brings up basically that intimacy, lack of you pursuing him, all of a sudden becomes not fair. But if she brings something up, it's all fair games. This plays a lot of relationships. There's a lot of men out there that go through relationships with no sex, no affection, no nothing, except for if it's in public, like everybody else is watching. But in everybody's point of view, oh, he's getting attention, he's getting everything. But at home, he's getting no love. And technically, he's said to be, oh, you're supposed to be fine with
Attacking, I'm asking.
I'm tired. Work drains me.
I know you're tired, but it's been months of tired.
So now intimacy is a scoreboard.
No, but rejection builds distance.
I'm gonna pause it there only to show that intimacy is something men need. So the same way women always understand, oh yeah, women have hormonal issues, all this stuff, and men are supposed to understand. The same way women have to understand, men, we have hormonal needs. We have more so situations where we need to release. Our bodies are prone to release. It wants to release. And many times that shows us connection as well. Imagine going out into the world and throughout the day, you're getting rejected. You're getting hard where everything is going hard. Everything is working against you, or even you have to fight to get everything you want. But then when you get home, at least that one person that more so is responsible for accepting you, for loving you, for you hope that they love you and care for you. You go to them for that need that you want and they say no. The one person that you shouldn't even be getting any type of rejection from, you say no. And I know some women think, oh, so I'm supposed to give it up all of a sudden. Technically, truth be told, especially if you're married, whether you want to think about it in regular world aspect, yes. If you want to think about it in biblical aspect, yes. And I'll give you some things behind that, but let's continue after a bit.
Reject.
That's exactly what I meant. Women don't realize for men, sex is connection, absolute connection. If you don't connect with him that way, then how do you expect him? Who is he gonna rely on to connect that way? You more so are telling him, I only want you to connect with me in this particular way. But when he comes to you for that connection, you're saying no. That makes no sense. But then he has to go out into the world and see all types of possible connections and say, no, 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 no. Let me hold back for my woman. But then when he gets home, you're saying no. It's like, wait a second, I'm holding back for what? You have to make up your mind. It's either you want to be the sole source of that connection for him and allow him to actually open up with that, or you open it up to the streets. And unfortunately, if you open it up to the streets, then you open it up to competition. Most women don't realize you do not want to open that door up to competition, because as much as you don't realize it, that man, you might see him as something like, oh, well, another woman is waiting for you to throw him away. Many women are basically waiting for you to mess up your situation. Sometimes it's your closest friends that's hoping that you mess it up. But let's continue.
That's the problem. You don't think about it at all.
So now I'm failing?
But closeness matters more than we admit. You only care about that. But when it disappears, everything else feels off too.
That statement was absolutely true. Many women don't realize how important closeness is unless they see the man pull away. Imagine a man stop wanting to have sex with you, stop attempting to have sex with you. All of a sudden, it becomes a situation where you're like, okay, what? He doesn't find me attractive. He doesn't want to touch me anymore. He must be having sex with somebody else. He might be doing this, he might be doing that. But if you're not opening that avenue, if you keep rejecting, eventually the man is just going to stop asking. And if he stops asking, then you need to start being worried. It's either he's taking care of himself or he found somebody to take care of it for him. And if he found somebody to take care of it for him, then you open the door in ways that you can't even realize. Even when you're married, when you have arguments, technically, you don't want to open that door up to where you leave your man going out into the world thinking all types of thoughts of where he can get what he needs from somebody else. An older woman once told a young lady this. She said, you never let your man leave hungry, horny, or angry. Hungry because it allows another woman to come in and feed him. Angry because it allows him to go into the world and he might endanger himself as well as danger others. Because men, once they're angry, they can do some stupid things. We can do some stupid things. Horny is because, truth be told, there's temptation out in the world everywhere. And if you allow him to go out into the world thinking with his little head instead of his big head, his thought, his cloudy judgment, he can be more so seen, he can be a great man, but he might make a mistake and fall short in some type of way.
Realize it hurt you that much.
because I don't complain every time. But constant rejection makes a man feel unwanted.
I'm not.
That's exactly it. Not a lot of men will continue in a relationship complaining. Most men aren't built to nag. And if you continuously reject him, it just builds a drift between you and him. It becomes a point where you're like, all right, why am I bothering this? Imagine when you were dating and you were trying to have sex, men, when they're dating and try to have sex with women, rejection, and then a hit and a miss or whatnot. But then you finally give your heart to somebody, you're providing, you're doing everything you can for this person. And this person actually says, no. You get to the certain point where like, wait a second, I feel like I'm back in the world again. I feel alone again because the person I'm relying on is not giving me what I actually need or what I'm asking for.
Doing it on purpose.
I know, but unintentional distance still creates loneliness.
So what do you want?
You want effort, initiative, not just when it's convenient.
The interesting thing is, I always give the analogy of this. If a man goes into the world, right? He goes into the world and you're married to him. And you marry him and you're thinking, and you want to be that fountain of water for him. You don't want him to go out into the world and drink any other fountains of water. And you want to be that fountain. And he goes out into the world, he comes back home, he's thirsty after a long day. He comes to ask you for some water. You say, no. And then he's like, okay, I can go thirsty for a day or two. And then sooner or later, he's like, hey, babe, I need some water. I'm really thirsty. Then she says, no again. He goes back out into the world and he sees fountains, wells of water, beautiful water. And he comes back home, instead of drinking that well of water, those wells of water, he comes to you, babe, I need to drink something. And then you keep saying no. How long before you think a man is gonna go before more so he drinks some other water? But you expect him to continue to go without drinking. Of course, understood, most women think men should be able to go without sex the same way they do, but we are not the same for a particular reason. Even when it comes to, that's the worldview. When it comes to biblical view, you're not ever supposed to withhold from your partner in a sense. The only time you're supposed to, biblically, the only time it says that you can withhold from your partner is when you both are fasting. Other than that, you both have to agree to fast and then you can stay without sex. But after that, you're supposed to go right back into sex. Technically, it's a way to avoid lust outside of the marriage. But some people don't want to count that. Now, of course, you can say no to your partner and say, you know what? No, I'm not going to have sex. I refuse. We're not going to have sex together. But then after that, you have to realize you still have a duty to your partner after a while. So let's say you say no right now, you have to come back to your partner and say, okay, let's do what we need to do. The same way, if a woman says, I need to talk, babe, and the man is like, I don't want to talk right now. He has to realize he has a duty to his partner, to go back and talk to her, really go into her emotions. Regardless of it, you have to realize you have a duty to your partner. And sex is one of those important things that many women tend to look over. But please realize, if you don't give it to them, eventually he'll look elsewhere. You all have a good one. Once again, like, subscribe, and comment.